The educational watchdog says it's very concerned about the number of pupils being excluded from some schools in the southwest. In its annual report, Ofsted highlights the growing rate of students temporarily suspended in Bristol and the increasing number with special educational needs being excluded in Somerset. Here's our social affairs correspondent, Fiona Lamdin.
Good boy, you're going to put the rest on?
6-year-old Caden has ADHD. After throwing a chair across his classroom, he was excluded for the day from his primary school in Somerset.
My son was labelled dangerous 5 months ago, and I had a meeting with the headmaster to say that my son needed to be taken out of the classroom, then put him on to half days. So I would go and pick him up 9 till 12. It's not his best interest. He needs to be in a classroom where he's not discriminated or put to one side.
His mum, Kirsty, wants her son to be in full-time education. And Ofsted agrees. Its regional director believes the number of children being excluded with special educational needs in Somerset is a real worry.
We are concerned about the level of exclusion for pupils with special educational needs in Somerset. Schools will at times use exclusion as one of their tools for dealing with behaviour. They need to use that carefully. But when children are excluded, they need to be in alternative provision full-time.
Somerset councils say we work closely with schools and have every sympathy with the pressures they are facing with reductions in funding, increases in pupil numbers and growing complexities of needs. Ofsted says it's also worried about the number of pupils being temporarily excluded from Bristol schools. The rate is twice the national average. But here in the city, many are working hard to bring these figures down.
A group of schools have come together to create this learning hub for those at risk of exclusion. And over the last 5 years, they've educated over 150 students who otherwise would have been expelled.
What that means is that they get taught in much smaller classes, sort of groups of say 6 to 9, and it does make a huge difference. So we've got students, quite numerous students, who have gone for say 3 months and have come back after that 12-week period back into school and have been really successful.
The South West remains below the national average, with only 83% of schools judged as good or outstanding. Nationally, it's 86%.
Yeah, do you want to put that one on?
And as this family prepare for Christmas, they have just one wish.
I'm worried that my son's not going to get to college or university or be what he wants to be.
In the new year, they'll continue their battle to get Caden into full-time education. Fiona Lamdin, BBC Points West, Somerset.